Good evening, Belize. It's Thursday and you're watching News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly and here's what's making headlines tonight. 21 Belizeans deported from the U.S. as the Trump administration intensifies its crackdown on illegal immigration. The Briceño administration rolls out a generous offer to teachers and public officers. But is it enough to stop looming industrial action? Former Constitution Minister Henry Charles Usher responds to a fiery letter from frustrated PCC commissioners. The transport CEO hits the ground running, touring the department amid a growing investigation into missing funds. And with forecasts pointing to an above-average hurricane season, NEMO is stepping up preparations to keep Belize safe. All that and more after a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us.
"50 years ago, a humble Belizean dream was born. And on Saturday, May 24th at 11 a.m., we celebrate that dream with you, Corozal. Join Quality Poultry Products for a special 50th anniversary motorcade starting at the historic Santa Rita Mayan Roundabout. We'll cruise through 7th Avenue, heading towards the Right Honorable George Price Memorial Roundabout, turning into 1st Avenue, then 4th Avenue, turning into 8th Street, north into 5th Avenue, turning left into 5th South Street, ending at the Miami Beach Roundhouse. With music, giveaways, and a whole lot of hometown pride. Celebrate the journey. Celebrate the flavor. Celebrate 50 years of quality poultry products in Belize. Quality Poultry Products. Belizean roots, boldly growing.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, May 22nd. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight, 21 Belizeans are back home on soil after arriving on a historic charter flight from the United States. While deportations are nothing new, this marks the first time a large group has been returned on a single, specially arranged flight, a clear reflection of the Trump administration's tough stance on immigration. For many of these individuals, the journey to the U.S. was a bid for a better life, a story that hits close to home for countless Belizean families. A few had served time for criminal offenses, but Most were simply caught in the tightening grip of U.S. immigration policy. News 5's Paul Lopez was at the Philip Gosen International Airport and takes a closer look at what this moment means for those returning and for the country they've come back to.
This morning, the largest group of Belizeans ever deported from the U.S. arrived at the Philip Gosen International Airport in a special charter flight, the first of its kind. Among them was a young man who had spent 3 years in the U.S. after entering illegally and seeking asylum. His application was denied and he was detained by ICE in Michigan just 3 weeks ago. According to U.S. Embassy spokesperson Luke Martin, his story reflects the harsh reality many deportees now face under stricter immigration enforcement.
As you know, this flight came, charter flight from the United States to Belize. Normally, deportees return via commercial air, so this is the first time we've had a charter plane come to Belize with deportees. As far as the numbers go, I think our final number was in the 20 area. And I think the question about why, we saw reports with higher numbers as well, is a whole issue of due process. So it's not like they were just scooped up off the street and put on a plane. Everybody had the right to due process, went to court, had their hearings, had their appeals. So this happened through, legal means.
The chartered aircraft didn't just stop here. It continued to Chile and Peru to deport more individuals. This multi-country deportation flight is part of the Trump administration's ongoing crackdown on illegal immigration. While 21 deportees may seem like a lot to Belize, it's a small number compared to countries like Guatemala, which sees tens of thousands of its citizens deported from the U.S. each year.
This isn't a case where an operation under the Trump administration in a neighborhood or community led to the detention of these individuals.
That's a great question. No, so this was not, knocking down doors and walking into houses. These were people that were all in the United States illegally. The majority of them had crossed into the United States illegally, and then the rest of them were overstays, had visas and they overstayed as well. And the majority of them did have some kind of criminal offense in the United States as well.
Is there an active pursuit for Belizeans or of Belizeans in the U.S. at this time?
So I think what you mean by that, so like breaking down doors kind of thing, that image or that idea of coming into workplaces and scooping people up. No, like that's not something that we're seeing. So everybody on this flight, they were illegally in the United States. And like I said, many of them had charges, ranging from burglary up to, attempted murder. So there were some, serious offenders from both governments' perspectives as well.
Today, the government of Belize issued a statement confirming that the 21 Belizeans deported from the U.S. will be treated just like any other citizen, returning home through repatriation. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs emphasized that all Belizeans, regardless of their immigration status, deserve to be treated with dignity and respect in line with international law.
In a lot of ways, this is a new message to Belize. I think other Central American countries have heard this before through past administrations, that illegal immigration is not something that's tolerated. This has always been the law. So the difference is, coming here, it's a different optic with a charter plane coming in. Everybody notices it becomes big news, but still, illegal immigration is not something that has been tolerated. There's a zero tolerance policy. Again, due process, legal appeals, people have the right to do that for different reasons.
Will we be seeing more of these types of flights? With the amount of persons coming on these charter flights?
I think my guess, and I'm just saying a guess on this, yes. If the administration is moving towards charter flights, it's more cost effective to have a number of people rather than just one-offs and two-offs on regular United and American flights coming here. Yeah.
The government of Belize has made it clear, no matter the circumstances, all Belizeans abroad are welcome home. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The Trump administration is facing serious backlash from U.S. judges for ignoring a court order related to deportations. At the center of the controversy are so-called third countries, nations that agree to take in non-citizens deported from the United States. Countries like El Salvador and South Sudan have already been named in this agreement. But now there's growing speculation. Could Belize be next? According to reports, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been in talks with the government of Belize about the possibility. While nothing has been confirmed, the idea has sparked concern and curiosity. Today, we reached out to the public relations officer at the U.S. Embassy in Belize to get some clarity on the situation. When asked about the chances of Belize becoming a third country for U.S. deportations, here's what he had to say.
I believe the administration has talked to multiple countries about taking third country nationals. I know they have had the conversation. Secretary of State has had that conversation here as well. And Belize is very open for taking Belizean citizens, and that's where it stands at present.
Coming up, big changes for teachers and public workers. Is GOB giving in to pressure? Details when we return.
That they would have.
San Pedro Tiger Sharks, let's go! We welcoming all Sharks fans from San Pedro and Belize City. It was the NEBL, then the BEBL, now it's the BPBL. It's basketball time. The Sharks are survivors. No thunder scares us. We come for eat up Jaguar Cup. We welcome you all. Bring out the entire family this Saturday, May 24th. Come and witness the Tiger Sharks versus Belize City Thunderbolts inside the Belize Civic Center. Gates open at 7 p.m. sharp. Tip-off is 8 p.m. After party will be at Shisha's. Sponsors are
high IQ players, no look past, thread the needle, put it up on the glass, on the pick and roll the keep and go.
We are people of the reef. The world agrees that we have something unique.
This is what we make our livelihood off every day. We're losing the reef, my brothers and sisters. I'm killing the reef. Might as well I die too, because I make my living off the reef.
There were things that were occurring within the boundaries of the World Heritage Site that were really not acceptable.
We had a lot of development happening, a lot of deforestation, a lot of dredging.
The reefs mean so much to the people of Belize because we always refer to our entire blue space as that wealth untold.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town. which costs me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
The Briceño administration is rolling out a new set of reforms aimed at improving the lives of thousands of teachers and public officers across Belize. After a cabinet meeting on May 20th, the government announced several key decisions following fresh negotiations with the joint union negotiating team. One of the biggest changes is a new collective bargaining agreement framework, which is expected to be in place by June 18th. Unions will have 60 days to respond with any counter proposals. As part of its Plan Belize 2.0 agenda, the government is also sticking to its promise to raise the minimum wage to $6, pending final consultations. Public officers can look forward to a 3% salary increase starting October 1st, 2025, with another bump coming up at the start of the 2026 to 2027 fiscal year. However, discussions are still ongoing about restoring the remaining 5.5% in salary cuts and a second frozen increment, both tied to broader reforms in pensions, cost-saving measures, and boosting government revenue. In a major win for educators, the government will begin fully covering pension and gratuity payments for teachers in grant-aided schools starting this September. Looking ahead, the government says it wants to take a more rounded approach to negotiations, focusing not just on salaries, but also on quality of life and productivity. Topics on the table include cost of living adjustments, tax relief, access to land and housing, education scholarships, and better union benefits. Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde, who signed the official letter, emphasized the administration's commitment to respectful and responsible dialogue with unions. Still, not everyone is ready to celebrate just yet. The Belize National Teachers Union is holding off on any decisions for now. Members were expected to vote later today on how to move forward after last week's meeting with the government. With the government's latest proposal, that vote has been put on hold, while the union goes over its details carefully. This all follows a high-level meeting on May 13th between union leaders and government officials under the joint union negotiating team. We spoke with the Minister of Public Service, Henry Charles Usher, who weighed in on the situation. When asked whether the government is concerned about a potential strike, he acknowledged the stakes but emphasized the administration's commitment to dialogue and compromise.
I think, yes, they did issue the notice last week, Wednesday, so a week has passed. No, I believe that was all part of their, they had said that they would have certain steps that they would take. They would have the sit down, they would be going to level 2, level 3, but we hope that we don't get to level 3. We hope that with these proposals, are accepted, that the membership of the PSU, the membership of the BNTU, and all of the broader teachers, public officers, that they can see that these are reasonable proposals. These are proposals that are sustainable. These are proposals that have come out of a level of discourse, a respectful level of discourse around the table. And as I always say, it's always better to talk to each other than at each other.
No, the fundament of the proposal, as I understand it, is 3.5% in October of this year, and then another unnamed amount at the start of the next fiscal. Is that the heart of the proposal?
So you're speaking to only one item on the 7 point, one of 7.
Just look at the money.
Yeah, of course. No, it's a 3% salary adjustment starting in October, and then in April or the start of the next fiscal year, the unfreezing of one of the increments that were frozen during the COVID time. So remember that there were 2 increments that were frozen. The unfreezing of one of those will be done, or is being proposed to be done at the next fiscal year, starting, of course, April 1st, 2026. And then the remaining conversation has to do with the 5.5%, since 3 is being done in October, and the second increment. So that is where further discussion is needed. And of course, you have to look at the performance of the economy. You have to look at the ability to be able to implement those salary adjustments going forward. But the idea and what we discussed around the table is that it will be done in a 3-year time frame.
In mid-April, public frustration boiled over after it was revealed that Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie and government CEOs received salary increases just days after the 2025 general election. Leslie's new salary is $96,000 a year, while CEOs are now earning $88,000. The news sparked backlash from groups like the Public Service Union and the Belize National Teachers Union, who've been pushing for raises for years. In response, the BNTU staged a protest in Belmopan demanding an 8.5% salary adjustment for teachers. With public pressure mounting, the government quickly formed a negotiating team to meet with union leaders. When asked whether the situation could have been handled more carefully, Minister of Public Service Henry Charles Usher shared his thoughts on the fallout.
Hindsight is 2020, and I'm not a Monday morning quarterback. I won't go back and say we should have done this or should have done that differently. But what I can say is that if it was as simple as the CEO's salaries, then the one item on the agenda when we met around the table will remove the salary increase to CEOs, and that should have brought us back to a level playing field. So certainly that was not the intention of government. When we met with the unions, we met with them because we wanted to have a sustainable way in terms of looking at the salaries in the public service, salaries to public officers and teachers. And that's why another bullet point is the bullet point that speaks about the cost of living adjustment, at looking at the consumer price index to see how it is that we can have a formula to look at salaries every year that looks at the CPI, that looks at a cost of living adjustment, maybe every year, every 2 years, whatever is agreed upon, so that we don't get to a situation where you have areas of the public service or teachers or anybody saying, oh, we want this increase, we want that increase. We know that an increase is coming because it's based on a formula. Included in that discussion was looking at other areas that we can properly compensate our public officers, perhaps looking at housing initiatives, looking at different areas that they can benefit from. We can't always meet a numerical figure, but we can always try to work with our public officers, with our teachers, with all of the public service to see how we can properly compensate, how we can have what's, the way Minister Fonseca put it, is that it's a quality of living situation. We want a quality of life for our public officers, for our teachers, that is one that is respectable, one that is dignified, one that they can make sure that they can take care of all of their needs. And that is what we have to look at. On the flip side of that is productivity. We have to make sure that our teachers, our public officers remain as productive as they are right now, and to improve upon the efficiency of service, improve upon the productivity in all the sectors.
The government says its growing wage bill is putting pressure on the national budget, making it difficult to meet the salary demands of all public workers. But the Belize National Teachers Union isn't backing down, arguing that it's the government's duty to manage spending wisely and ensure fair wages for all Belizeans. This morning, we asked the Minister of Public Service, Henry Charles Usher, how the government plans to tackle the issue and whether it will provide more transparency about who's on the public payroll, a key demand from the unions.
Well, that is as always a priority. As a matter of fact, in previous discussions with the joint union team, we re-established some committees, the Revenue Enhancement Committee, the Cost Saving Committee, and the Pension Reform Committee. Those committees are committees that are standing, meaning that they are operating all year around, and they are advising and making recommendations to the government as to how we can improve revenue collection, improve new areas of revenue, improve on the cost-saving initiatives that the government has put in place. One of those is to look at the wage bill to see areas where we can improve in terms of perhaps we have to do audits of the different ministries, departments, to see if there are workers to fill all of those posts, etc. That's what's called a desk audit. So all of that is ongoing, and while that is happening, we're also looking at a comprehensive review of the salary structure in the public service. That is a project also that we're working in collaboration with the IDB to bring in consultants to work with the Ministry of Public Service, the Ministry of Finance, of course the Ministry of Education, and the other departments necessary to be able to implement that comprehensive salary review. At the end, we hope to be able to have a public service that not only is affordable, that is one that is, the wage bill is something that we can certainly budget for, but also we want to make sure we have the best and the brightest in these departments. And that means we have to properly compensate them, and we have to look at what the private sector is paying to certain people to make sure that we at least remain competitive in the public service.
After the break, straight out of Jacintoville, Yellow Jaw sorrel. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Fowers and I work at UMall. 100% I will recommend Belize Bank mobile banking to everyone because it saves time, money and gas price, because gas price is high right now. Belize Bank mobile banking just make life easier.
The moves, the stage presence to wow the crowd, that it's your time to shine. Summerfest Auditions 2025. Singers, DJs, dancers, performers of all kinds, 18 years and younger. We're looking for the next big stars to light up the Summerfest stage.
Auditions happening at Channel 5 on May 30 at 10 a.m. Don't be late. Bring your best, bring your energy.
Show Belize what you've got. Top performers will earn a spot to be live on stage at Summerfest Belize, where summer comes alive.
This is your shot. Don't miss it. Summerfest Auditions 2025. Step up, show out, and own the stage. Belize, are you ready?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you produce your driver's license, please?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, Mr. Vernon, it's valid.
Yep.
Mr. Vernon, did you know your insurance will be up tomorrow?
Oh, really?
Make sure you try to update your policy, please.
Thanks so much for the heads up. Babe, can you please renew my policy?
We know that you get caught up in life sometimes, which is why RF&G Insurance makes renewing your insurance policy easy with WhatsApp. Just WhatsApp the words "Get Started" to 670-8700. We will prompt you to select the service you are interested in, select the service, and answer a few simple questions. An RF&G representative will process your request and follow up with you when your transaction is completed. It's that easy. Use WhatsApp and skip the lines. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Este es el término utilizado.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo como organización. Y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver los grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.
Moms, we know that keeping your family close is the most important thing to you. At Cellular World, we've got everything for you. Enjoy moments of magic on products like budget phones as low as $59, tablets starting at $129, and cool bundles as low as $69. Plus, speakers, headphones, monitors, printers, accessories, and so much more. Even better yet, let Mother's Day be a never-ending vibe with a wide selection of JBL auto systems, fully backed up with a 1-year warranty, starting at only $39. But that's not all. You can also get yourself a Samsung Galaxy phone, tablet, buds, or smartwatch, and save even more with a 1-year local warranty included. Cellular World has the tech that suits your needs. Visit us at any 6 locations in Belize City, Belmopan, San Pedro, and Orange Walk, or shop via our virtual online store on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp us at 615-5141.
It's time to wake up, move, and feel amazing. Get your heart pumping and your energy flowing with Morning Boost. A fun and dynamic workout show to kickstart your day. Whether you're a beginner or a fitness pro, we've got the moves to keep you motivated. So grab your mat, set your alarm, and let's get moving. Morning Boost, weekdays at 6 a.m., only on Channel 5.
Across Belize, thousands of small businesses are thriving, powered by the passion and perseverance of their owners. Many of them tap into the country's rich natural resources, turning local ingredients into unique homegrown products. One such story comes from Jacintoville in southern Belize, where Julian Fisher is living out his dream. After falling in love with Belize over a decade ago, Julian now spends his days crafting Yellow Jaw Sorrel, a vibrant and flavorful drink born out of creativity and resilience during the COVID-19 pandemic. Tonight, we take you behind the scenes of this small but mighty business and show you how one man's love for Belize turned into a thriving local brand. Here's that story.
Wine or any beverage made from sorrel is traditionally linked to the Christmas season. It is enjoyed primarily inside homes, eaten with a slice of white cake, or used as a substitute for the ruby-rich wine used to wet and preserve your black fruit cake over time for that perfect bite. In southern Belize, one entrepreneur has been developing a sorrel business over the past few years.
The name comes from the largest, most vicious snake in the district down here, the yellow-jaw tommy-goff. When we came in here and this was 100% bush, we had to take a few of them out, one of which was about 20 feet, so we thought it was an appropriate name for the company. We first got into the soursop business about 3-4 years ago. And then we realized that it takes too long to produce a fruit to make it economical for us to be viable. So we got into the sorrel. If you can see, there's a lot of hibiscus around here. The sorrel is one of a member of the hibiscus family, but it's the one that fruits.
Located in Jacintoville, Toledo, Yellow Jaw Limited was created less than a year before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And through networking with residents from the community, a small sorrel farm on Julian Fisher's property was harvested and used to create jams, cookies, and tea.
We started with one sorrel bush 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we got it up to about 110. Last year, we had 415 trees. This year, on this particular tract where we've just harvested, we have 4,000 trees. That allows us now, instead of to sell the fruit, we sell our own product line. We're making Yellow Jaw Jungle Jam, sorrel. We're making Yellow Jaw Jungle Cookies, and we're making our Yellow Jaw Jungle Hot Tea.
Sorrel, also called common sorrel or garden sorrel, is a perennial herbaceous plant. It is also referred to as Spanish dock and narrow-leafed dock. It is a widespread plant in grassland habitats and is often cultivated as a leafy vegetable or herb. Harvesting sorrel is labor-intensive and time-consuming, but it provides employment for residents from neighboring villages.
Take out the leaf and just right there, put it one side, and the seed, I put it one side, so that right there get dry. So after that, they got some more seed for next year. 4 people could help me and could start to pick like 2 buckets, 3 buckets each. So then, like that, yeah.
And then after you don't pick it, what you do with it?
So could measure it so much pound and half there, like 20 pound, 30 pound. So my bossman carry it, so could sell it at home.
These are the 2 varieties that we grow. You have the traditional red one, but we have, and you can see the difference in size, we found a mutated brand on a bush over here on the side of this farm. We took the seeds from this one. It's much tastier, it's double the size, and it grows much faster than the red one. So this is our secret. That's our secret recipe right now, is the dark one. And it enhances the jam and all the other products. Pick it, the day we pick it, we take it to them and they start cooking the jam. And one of the things we do that is unique to it, we cook it over open fires. So it gives it the unique flavor when you taste it. It's the unique flavor that has captured everybody in this area this year. We produced 500 jars and they're all gone.
Satisfied with the success of his operations thus far, Fisher says that he intends to make it a seasonal product during this time of the year.
All come in ball mason jars, 16 ounce, recyclable, because this is a 100% off-grid farm. We don't use any chemicals to grow any of it. We could increase our production if we got into the chemical spraying business, but that's not what we want to be in. So ours is 100% organic, and we plan to expand our line of jams from sorrel to 6 other flavors annually. When it's in season, we'll do up to 7 different jams a year. Sorrel is popular November, December, so we'll do the other ones across the year. That has allowed us now that we'll be signing a contract soon for nationwide distribution across Belize for next year. At this time, we will be nationwide. The year after, we plan to be in the CARICOM.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
On Monday, a group of former commissioners from the People's Constitution Commission broke its silence, raising serious red flags about the final draft of a report that was handed over to Prime Minister John Briceño. In a strongly worded letter to the PM, the group outlines a series of concerns, from poor record keeping and questionable procedures to what they call a misuse of the consensus principle, which they argue has no legal basis. Even more troubling, they claim that not all commissioners had access to the full report and that many never approved it. Since then, Dr. Luis Zabanet, the current minister in charge of constitutional affairs, has responded to the backlash. And earlier today, his predecessor, Henry Charles Usher, also weighed in. He didn't hold back, saying the commissioner who are now speaking out simply didn't understand what their role was in the process.
First, I'm happy to see that there was a report prepared with 167 recommendations. It was delivered to the Prime Minister, and now that with the amendment that we're attempting to get through to increase the time, we have to look at those 167 recommendations. Remember, this initiative called the People's Constitution Commission was to hear the views of the people, was to hear the views of the Belizean people at home and abroad, because they actually had an opportunity to reach out to the diaspora. It wasn't necessarily to hear the views of the commissioners, and that's what they were told from the very beginning. Your views, your personal opinions, you have to put aside. You are merely a conduit for the people to talk to the government. The views, the opinions, the passion projects of the commissioners were not supposed to be in that report. If they wanted it to be in the report, they should have had somebody in the public raise it at one of the consultations. But at the last minute or at any part of the process, their job was not to say, oh, I want this in the report. I think this should be in the report. No. If it was not raised in any of the consultations with the people, then it should not be in the report.
So how does Usher feel about the National Women's Commission and the University of Belize also signing the letter sent to Prime Minister Briceño?
No, I don't take issue with them. I just think that they perhaps misunderstood what they were there to do. That they were not there to say what is the position of the National Women's Commission. They were not there to say what is the position of the National University. They were there to say, okay, we went to so many consultations countrywide, including an online version with the diaspora, and this is what they are saying. And this is what is in the report. Now, in terms of their procedural issues, I can't comment on that because I wasn't a part of it. In terms of how they, whatever got into the report, got there in terms of where it came from. Like I said, there were over 6,000 points that they used, and they condensed it to 167 recommendations. And those are the recommendations that are in the report.
When we return, former transport minister denies involvement in missing funds scandal.
Looking to build or renovate? Find the inspiration you need in our showroom. First stop, the kitchen. Explore big-name appliances, all built to make life easier. From there, let the lights guide you. But what about the finer details? We've got you covered. And to bring it all together, we've got tiles for every surface.
All available online.
Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
Smart is enhancing your mobile experience to keep you connected like never before.
We're rolling out LTE Band 4 to give you faster speeds and upgraded mobile performance. Our service enhancements are rolling out in phases across various key locations. These phased service upgrades are underway, and we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. With cutting-edge technology, this powerful boost will increase your internet experience, making downloads, streaming, and browsing smoother and faster. Whether you're at home, on the go, or at work, you'll feel the difference.
So stay tuned for more updates as we continue expanding to give you the best service possible. Because at Smart, we're not just keeping you connected, we've got you covered. Smart, bringing people together.
after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
In May, make Benny's your one-stop shop for appliances. We have Sankey refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, washers and dryers, freezers, smart TVs, and so much more for up to 19% off. Get amazing deals for mom and appliances all May long, and don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase to be a part of our Homecation raffle to win $10,000 in December. Benny's, quality and savings.
Former Transport Minister Rodwell Ferguson is defending himself against allegations of theft following an internal investigation at the Ministry of Transport. The probe uncovered signs of mismanaged funds, with payments for services allegedly never making it into government accounts. The investigation, which reportedly began before a public call for an audit by Public Service Union President Dean Flowers, has revealed that over $80,000 is unaccounted for, according to CEO Chester Williams. The case has now been handed over to the Director of Public Prosecutions. Ferguson insists he had no part in the financial discrepancies.
The investigation is going well. The matter was reported to the police, and the police are conducting investigation. I saw a memorandum from the DPP office where they're requesting the police to do further investigation. Our internal auditor, Ms. Hill at the ministry, she is cooperating with the investigation, providing the necessary information the officers need to be able to go and get certain statements from certain people. So that aspect is ongoing. The only issue I had was that when the matter was brought to light, while the main perpetrator was suspended from duty, there was nothing done to initiate disciplinary action against her. So what I have done so far is that I have wrote her supervisor, and the other person who worked at the office a letter asking them to show cause why, in light of the allegations outlined in the audit report, disciplinary action should not be taken against them. They were given 14 days to reply. I'm still awaiting the reply. They just got the letters, I think, this week, Monday. So they have 14 days from Monday to reply to the show cause letter. When that comes to me, then I review it. And if there is sufficient evidence to be able to take the matter before the Public Service Commission, then that is what is going to be done. I saw Mr. Ferguson's Facebook comment, and I must agree with him. The ministries are run by the CEOs. It is not the minister who run the ministries. The minister, yes, gives instruction to the CEOs, but the CEOs are the ones who ensure that the daily functions of the ministry are carried through, including is the CEO who is the accounting officer. And so it is our responsibility as CEOs to make sure that we do what needs to be done. So Mr. Ferguson is right to say publicly that he did nothing wrong because he's not the accounting officer. And I can say to you that the investigation is not around Mr. Ferguson. There is nothing at this particular time to say that he did anything wrong. It is only those persons who were at Spanish Court at a particular moment who seemingly either together or individually pilfered the money, and so we're dealing with that issue.
A nationwide investigation into the Ministry of Transport has uncovered serious financial irregularities, with more than $80,000 unaccounted for. The discovery has set off public outrage and renewed calls for greater transparency in government spending. The newly appointed transport CEO told us the ministry is taking the issue seriously and is committed to doing everything possible to stamp out corruption and rebuild public trust.
One, we're looking at making sure that the cashiers across the country. Where DOT is concerned, we're going to put cameras at those cashier areas. And then, again, making sure we have people who are supervisors, who are responsible enough. Because, again, looking at the whole issue in Spanish Lookout, you have the cashier collect based on what the motor vehicle inspector have assessed. What the motor vehicle inspector assessed, then the person who's in charge, the senior transport officer, is going to approve that. And the senior transport officer must ensure that what the cashier collects is what he had approved. In the evening time when the cashier closes, the senior transport officer has the duty to check the cash book and make sure it balances with the cash on hand. And if it is that you, having approved these funds, you would know basically what is the amount of monies should be collected at the end of the day. So when you see the cash book come to you and it only reflects so little compared to what you know you had approved, then that should raise a red flag. So my thing is that the senior transport officer who was there at that particular moment, he has to explain. It is either he was accomplice or he neglected his duty. So he was written to in that respect to show cause why disciplinary action should not be taken against him. Again, we're dealing with government funds. We have to ensure that we are responsible in how we handle public funds. It cannot be we have systems that do not work and we have people pilfering the funds and then nothing is being done to them. So while we do have the criminal aspect of the investigation, we have the internal aspect as well. So I'm optimistic that we'll be able to get to the bottom of this and then those persons responsible will be brought to justice.
On Wednesday, we brought you the Ministry of Transport's bold vision to unify the country's public transit system under a single national bus company. But that vision has hit a speed bump. The Belize Bus Owners Association is pushing back hard. Their concern that this proposal could drive independent operators off the road and threaten the livelihoods of dozens of families who rely on the industry. The association is calling for fairness and transparency as the government moves forward. In response, Transport Minister Dr. Louis Zabanet told News 5 that the opposition is not as widespread as it may seem. He claims only a small group of operators are resisting the idea and emphasized that the plan is still in its early stages. But when we reached out today for an update, CEO of the Ministry of Transport, Chester Williams, declined to comment, saying he could not disclose any further details at this time.
The minister is the one dealing directly with the bus issue, meeting with the different bus owners. Yes, I do attend the meetings with him, but I leave that for him to be able to address. I don't think I am in a place to be able to comment on that because he's a lead in that aspect. That's a policy issue. So that's a matter for the minister. When he have decided exactly what route we'll go, then that is passed down to me as CEO to ensure that there's execution in terms of what the policy of the minister is.
But one thing is clear, the road to reform may be longer and bumpier than expected. You may remember the alarming incident last year when two men narrowly escaped serious injury after parts of the Novelos bus terminal roof came crashing down. While the roof was quickly patched up, the scare exposed a much bigger issue. The terminal is in desperate need of full renovation. Well, change is finally on the horizon. Today, the government made a public commitment to revamping the heavily used terminal. CEO of the Ministry of Transport, Chester Williams, toured the facility alongside Chief Transport Officer Leon Gentle and Deputy Transport Officer Peter Williams to assess the damage and discuss what improvements are coming. We caught up with the team during their walkthrough to find out what commuters can expect from the upcoming upgrades.
My tour of the terminal itself, we have seen a number of deficiencies, things that we believe needs to be improved. One of the main concerns that people have is that when it rains, the terminals do take water, at least about 3 inches of water inside the terminal itself, and so there may be a need to bring in a contractor to look at it and see what, if anything, can be done to raise the flooring, perhaps maybe about 3 inches, and that way the water will be able to slide out of the terminal as opposed to coming into the terminal. Again, the seating arrangement inside the terminal is certainly inadequate. We just have one metal thing on the chair that people sit on. I don't think that is comfortable for anybody to sit on, and so that needs to be improved. There is nothing inside the terminal that tells the commuters what are the schedule of the buses. And so we're looking at putting in screens in the terminals that will be able to depict the bus schedules of each of the different bus companies, so that when you come to the terminal and you want to know what time what bus will leave, you can go to the screen, just like when you go to an airport and the screen will tell you James will leave at this time, BWOC will leave at this time, and that will be able to help people to schedule themselves more better. When we look at the bathroom here, the bathroom doors are broken. It cannot be we have bathrooms that women are using and the doors are broken. People can go and peep on them when they're using the bathroom. It cannot work. These bathrooms are used by pregnant women on a daily basis who traverse the terminal. Again, we have to make sure the bathrooms are in a state of good hygiene. And I am happy to see that the terminal supervisor, Ms. Hyde, she seems to be on top of her game, because I can say that while the infrastructure may not be how we want it to be, in terms of the cleanliness of the bathroom, it is extremely clean. So I can see that they are doing well in terms of maintaining the cleanliness of the bathroom. And so we will work with them to make sure that we can fix the problem that do exist. Again, the objective is to make sure we provide good quality service to our Belizean people.
From crumbling infrastructure to unsanitary conditions, bus terminals nationwide have long needed serious attention. Now, the ministry says change is on the way. Plans are in motion to renovate these aging facilities, with improvements promised to the bathrooms, seating arrangements, and even drainage systems on the compounds. But as with any major facelift, the question is, at what cost? Today, we spoke with Transport CEO Chester Williams to find out whether the ministry's current budget can support such an ambitious overhaul. Here's what he had to say.
The money in the budget certainly can help us to a certain extent. Yes, it is not all we wanted, but that can be complemented by what the FinSec have now agreed that we'll be getting back. I must say that separate and apart from the monies collected from the bathroom, we also receive on a monthly basis almost 50,000 rental fees. People who are renting booths or stalls at the bus terminals, these money also go into general revenue. So we have the rental fees and we have the bathroom fees. Adding two of them together is over 100,000 a month that we are collecting from these terminals. So I don't see no reason why we should not be able to tap into that to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the infrastructure.
Up next, Belize gears up for an above-average hurricane season.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
One of the things that I like about pediatrics is that it's never just about the child, it's also about family, extracurricular activities, sports, school, all of those things we get involved in. I think one of the nice things is also that it's about empowering families or giving them the knowledge that they need. It's actually about forming a community of people who support each other. We're in this parenting journey together.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Coming up, crop over's already in the air, along with all the hype. They conquered the Caribbean, now they're ready for the world. Solid financial support joins the battle versus severe medical conditions. There's absolutely everything you need and then some at this resort. It's all next on this station.
The best days of your life start with Smart's postpaid plan.
Every day is a new challenge, and I stay connected with my clients no matter how tough the workout gets.
As a mom and entrepreneur, I need flexibility. My best day starts with my Smart postpaid plan.
As a chef, I only choose the best ingredients and the best postpaid plan with Smart.
And that's a wrap.
As a TV show host, every second counts. My Smart plan keeps connection at my fingertips. Thanks. Oh, hi! One sec. I'm never giving up my Smart postpaid plan.
Explore Flex Junior, Choice, Select, and Plus postpaid plans and more to find the perfect fit to your days. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide to sign up today. Smart's postpaid plans are more than just a plan. They're the plan to the best days of your life. Smart, bringing people together.
With the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season fast approaching, experts are warning that this could be busier than usual. In response, the Ministry of Disaster Risk Management and the National Meteorological Service of Belize have launched new initiatives aimed at boosting the country's preparedness. The focus? Better access to weather and climate data, a crucial step in strengthening early warning systems that can save lives and reduce damage when disaster strikes. The launch event took place at the Met Office in Ladyville, where we heard from NEMO Minister Henry Charles Usher about what Belizeans can expect this season and how the government is working to keep communities safe.
As a matter of fact, Cabinet was just briefed on Tuesday by the director of NEMO, the National Emergency Coordinator, and by the Chief Met Officer. And what is expected is an above normal season. I think that the normal season calls for 14 named storms. They're expecting 16 or 17 named storms. I think the normal season calls for 4 major storms. I think they're expecting 5 or 6 major storms this particular season. So it will be an above normal season, but I think what is important, some weeks ago, NEMO actually launched an early warning system. That there was a launch of that facility, that initiative, and that is, to me, is critical, because that is what you need. You need to be able to get that accurate information early enough so that you can have proper planning. Now, in terms of all of the different committees that NEMO overseas, those committees are headed by different government departments. We're in the process of getting all the reports from those committees so that we can have our plan in place.
Speaking at a recent event, Minister Henry Charles Usher stressed that public confidence in agencies like NEMO, especially during emergencies, is absolutely vital. He highlighted that NEMO has been operational for 25 years, and over that time, the departments and organizations under its umbrella have significantly strengthened their ability to respond when disaster strikes.
Recently, we also launched the National Disaster Risk Management Plan. This is something that the NEMO Act, the legislation, calls for to be updated every year. We're happy to be able to have that comprehensive plan in place now. As you rightly said, the father of the nation was the first minister responsible for NEMO. NEMO is now in its 25th year, celebrating 25 years, and it's important that the public knows has confidence in NEMO, confidence in the work that it's doing, confidence in all the different departments and organizations responsible for the disaster mitigation.
As the calendar inches closer to June, forecasters are raising red flags about what could be a turbulent 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, is predicting a 60% chance of an above-normal season, with up to 19 named storms expected to form. Of those, as many as 10 could strengthen into hurricanes, and up to 5 may reach major hurricane status, packing winds of 111 miles per hour or more. NOAA says it has 70% confidence in these projections, citing warmer ocean temperatures and favorable atmospheric conditions as key drivers behind the forecast. Meanwhile, in Grenada, regional climate experts are taking action. The Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum is underway, bringing together scientists, meteorologists, and disaster response teams from across the region. Their mission: to improve how we communicate and prepare for climate-related risks, especially as the region braces for what could be a very active season. News 5's Benita Keme Palacio is on the ground in Grenada and brings us the latest insights and strategies emerging from the forum.
The 2025 Wet and Hurricane Season Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum kicked off this morning in Grenada, led by the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology. The event brings together meteorologists, climatologists, health officials, policymakers, media, and other stakeholders to review seasonal climate forecasts and strengthen decision-making around climate risks. With the Caribbean wet season just days away, experts presented projections for the upcoming season, as well as a review of last year's severe impacts, including extreme heat, heavy rainfall, wildfires, droughts across the region, including in Belize. Discussions will continue this afternoon and tomorrow, focusing on seasonal forecasts and hurricane season outlook. Trisha Miller from Grenada's Meteorological Service spoke to us more about what the region can expect this season.
We expect an active hurricane season again. We cannot say for sure how active it's going to be, or if it's going to play out the same way that 2024 played out. And the major reason for that is because of the Saharan air layer, which we cannot predict beyond a week or two. Right? It's just unfortunate, but we cannot. So if we have more intrusions of the Saharan air layer, we will find that the season would be a bit more erratic, as opposed to if it's just not that frequent, right? But however, we do expect an active season regardless. We also expect intense heat to continue, but not as intense as in 2023 or 2024.
It's a sad day for Belize's wildlife. An ocelot, a small spotted wildcat, was found dead along the Hummingbird Highway near the Rainforest Lodge at Sleeping Giant. It appears the animal was shot. This is the third wildcat death in just over a month. Back in April, a jaguar and other ocelot were also found dead near Maya Center. These repeated incidents are raising serious concerns among conservationists and animal lovers. Experts are urging the public: don't try to handle wild animals on your own. If you see one, call the wildlife authorities. These animals are protected and play an important role in nature. We spoke with Dr. Celso Pot, ahead of the Belize Zoo, who explained that wildcats like ocelots and jaguars help keep the ecosystem in balance by controlling other animal populations. He also shared that these deaths might be happening more often because of habitat loss or fear from people who don't understand the animal's behavior.
As development is happening, these animals are being pushed into areas with human interaction. So they're being pushed at what we call the interface. So there's contact with human, and contact with human not necessarily mean people directly, but they're, for example, small mesocarnivores. They're chicken, they're rabbit, whatever they're raising, and so then people would retaliate and kill them. But this is mainly because these animals are moving across the landscape, looking for food, looking for shelter, or even looking for mate. And so then you start having this conflict. We don't know much about the incident that was posted this morning. We haven't gotten any information. All we noted was that the ocelot was shot and killed. So the circumstances are unknown, and as such, we cannot comment on that particular case. But generally speaking, as bees develop, you will have more interaction with wildlife and people at the interface because they're moving, they're searching for food, they're searching for water, shelter, and mate.
As Belize continues to grow, finding ways to live alongside our wildlife is more important than ever. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.